everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. So on my Freshers Week video I received a lot of comments from you guys asking about making friends at university. It seems to be something that people are sort of worried about, and specifically how I found living away from the university and whether I would recommend that or whether I'd recommend living in halls. So yeah, I have quite a lot of thoughts on this and I'm just going to talk about it today and hopefully help some people out and ease your nerves. And yeah, just don't be worrying about it. It's so simple once you get to university to make friends. Everybody's so friendly and honestly you'll be fine. I'm just gonna split this video into sort of two parts. Firstly, I'm gonna talk about just making friends in general, and then I'll talk about the pros and cons of living away from university. Okay, so my first tip for making friends at university is joining Facebook groups, because yeah, it just helps you sort of connect with people before you've even started, get you talking, you can share your anxieties and stresses, and yeah, honestly it's so super easy. Like, I think a couple of weeks probably before I started Queen's, I joined the Queen's University Belfast Freshers, and then what was my year? 2016, 2017 I think. So this year it's just Queen's University Belfast, I think, Freshers. Yeah, Queen's University Belfast Freshers 2018-2019, and just join that group. A lot of people just starting university will post in saying, anyone doing, I did English and history, so it was anyone doing English, and you comment saying yeah, I'm doing English, and they're like, oh awesome, we'll just add you to this group chat. So you get added into a group chat and there's hundreds of people, oh, I don't know, hundreds, there's a lot of people from the same course as you who you can just chat away to. And yeah, like, people don't know each other, so don't be worried about looking stupid. Just be yourself, be friendly, be open and chat away. These group chats will make it a lot easier when you actually start university to meet people in your course, because say you're chatting to someone in the group chat, they'll recognise your name, maybe recognise your picture and be like, hey, nice to meet you, we were talking on Facebook, and yeah, a friendship can pretty much just start like that. My next piece of advice is just be brave. Honestly guys, like, on my first day, if anybody knows me in person, they will know I'm a shy person, but on my first day of university, I recognised two girls from the group chat and just walked up to them and said, hi, my name's Shan, are you doing English? And they were like, yeah, we are. And then I was able to spend the rest of that day with them, and it was just nice because being in a group makes it easier to go and talk to more people as well. So it's a super easy way to meet people, and don't worry about being judged because everybody's in the same boat. Those two girls said to me, like, you were so brave to come up to us, and that is not something I would have ever done before, but I didn't want to spend the day by myself. Also, during Freshers Week you'll have a lot of meetings with people from your course and just people from your year in general. So if you're sitting beside someone, just introduce yourself, say hi, what are you doing, I'm doing this, blah blah blah. Chat and get to know people, and it's not really that difficult. But I know it can take a lot of courage at the start, but it's just that first reaching out and being like, hi, nice to meet you, who are you? Yeah. Another thing is, the people you meet in Freshers Week will often invite you out on nights out. So if you want to go out during Freshers Week, take advantage of these invites, because it's a great way to make friends and just expand your friendship group at the very start. If you don't like going out, then say, oh, do you want to do this instead? They might say yes, they might say no, but yeah, just be sociable and be open and be friendly and just enjoy yourself. Okay, so those are my three top tips for making friends when you start university. Just join Facebook groups and chat away. Be brave, speak to people when you meet them, and then thirdly, take advantage of invites during Freshers Week. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the second part of the video where I'm going to talk about living at home versus living in halls. So I've just finished second year, and for the first 2 years I lived at home, and I'm still going to be living at home for my final year, and I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, it sort of has maybe had an effect on my social life, but not that much. I only live about half an hour away from Queen's, so it's not that difficult for me to travel up and down. So for the amount of money I'd be saving, there was really no point. So yeah, that's basically just why I live at home. But I'm just going to explain some of the pros and cons I've noticed over the last couple of years about living at home. Okay, so I'm going to start with the pros. And firstly, obviously, you're saving a lot of money. You're saving money on accommodation, you're saving money on food, you're saving like money on bills and all that sort of stuff. And it's just a lot easier to live at home if you're obviously as close as I was to the university. My second pro point for living at home is just having more time to yourself. If you are a studious person and need your alone time to get your work done, then living at home is probably your best option, because if you are easily distracted, maybe living around people all the time just isn't great for getting your work done. So yeah, just living at home, you'll have more time to yourself. My third pro point is that you don't have to deal with the horrible student house problems. That is something I have been so thankful for over the past couple of years. The amount of my friends who I have heard saying their heating doesn't work, their roof is leaking, their electricity doesn't work, their floorboards are falling through, their doors are breaking, like all these just horrible nasty things that you just don't want to have to deal with, don't happen when you're at home, and if they do, your parents deal with it. So yeah, that's another great thing about living at home, not having to deal with stupid rubbish that goes on like that. Like some of the things I hear, and even the way students sometimes can get treated by the people coming to sort these problems out, just isn't great. So yeah, I would definitely say that is a huge bonus of staying at home. And then my fourth and final pro point for living at home is that you still get to see your friends from home. I've been able to stay in the organisations like the GB that I was in throughout school, whereas maybe that wouldn't have been as easy to do if I had lived in Belfast. And I've still been able to see my friends from home regularly, and yeah, I still see my uni friends. Like, because I don't live that far out of Belfast, I can just travel in and see them, or I can just stay on in Belfast and hang out with my friends from uni. So yeah, I get the best of both worlds where my friends are concerned. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the downsides of staying at home rather than moving into halls. But yeah, it does have an effect on your uni social life, I think, because where people who live in halls can go on nights out and just walk back to their accommodation or pay £2 for a taxi back, I either have to stay over with a friend or pay a stupid amount of money on a taxi or put someone out of their way to give me a lift, which is a hassle. So I don't really go out that much, and I don't know whether that's because I live at home. I probably would have went out more if I'd lived at uni. So if that's something that's like really important to you for your uni experience, then maybe it is worth your while moving out. Because it does sort of have an effect, and it's just easier when things are planned if you are living around the area. If people text saying, oh, do you want to go for coffee, and you're sitting at home and you're like, oh, it'll take me an hour by the time I get the bus and travel in, blah blah blah. My second downside of living at home is less freedom. You are still pretty much relying on your parents. You're having to tell them where you're going, whereas I know a lot of my friends at uni just go out, do what they want. Their parents aren't constantly like watching them and seeing what they're doing, and they feel like they have to answer to them. But that's just something I don't really mind. So yeah, if you're really looking for some freedom, maybe moving into halls is for you. But if you aren't too concerned about that, then staying at home is definitely a good option. My third downside of staying at home is just the travel time. So if I have, say, a class at 9 in the morning, that means I'm getting up at 6 o'clock to get the bus, just because of like bus times and stuff and traffic and all to get in, whereas my friends are getting up at 8:30 to get in for a 9:30 or for a 9 o'clock class. And if you have meetings and stuff, it's just easier to arrange if you're living up there. So yeah, so that is all I really have to say. If you have any more specific questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. I can answer them in another video or just answer in a reply to your comment depending on the question. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!